Dukes of Weebdom.
Dukes of Weebdom.
Episode 84. So, you're on vacation this week.
I am.
Well, staycation, but...
Staycation.
Staycations are...
all I ever wanted.
Vacations. I don't know, just...
Riffing.
They're awesome. Yes. They're awesome. So, what have you been doing with your time? Just a lot of gaming?
Just gaming, chilling with friends, relaxing.
That's what's up.
Have a wedding soon.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yes. Not mine.
Yes. Going to a wedding.
Going to a wedding.
Yes.
I used none of that time to read manga. Today.
You read everything today.
Everything today. And watched a Dandadan.
Today?
No.
I was like, you waited that long?
Probably like the moment I could on the weekend.
Because the episode comes out tomorrow.
Oh, actually, this actually leads into something really great. Because we watched 2 anime episodes back to back. We watched a Tower of God episode.
Why do you still do this to yourself?
And then we watched a Dandadan episode. Or the other way around. I think we watched Dandadan first and then Tower of God. And
I'm sorry.
man,
I wish it was the other way around just so that you wouldn't end on...
It's not even just the animator's fault, too. Now I got little bones to pick with the writer, too. Because it's just such a stark contrast having Dandadan, a series where all the dialogue is like character-driven and these nice, deep, emotional characters. And then I go to Tower of God, and it's like all exposition. It's like nothing but exposition. I was getting like hurt. Like it was painful.
Savage. No, I watched none of... I don't think I've seen any of Cour 2 of Tower of God. I stopped halfway through the last episode of the first Cour, and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
We're up to date with the dub. Where they're like earning their spot to the workshop battle.
I'm sorry.
But like every time they talk, I'm just like, oh man. Either it's like the most obvious shit ever in the universe, or it's just boring. Either way, it's boring. Oh, I could shoot you with the dark bullet, or I'll shoot you with the light bullet.
On a better note, though, the Dandadan episode
So
was
good.
fire. So I watched it without my wife, and she watched it later, and she messaged me while I was at work when she was watching it. And she just goes, what would she say? Is Dandadan always this on serious about it? And I was like, all the time I was like, well, yes, but no, but yes.
Yes, but no.
But what do you mean? And she's like, who's picked this music? I was like, I knew immediately. I was like, when he was running and they played The Hall of the Mountain King.
No,
because I
wrong
fucking...
name. Wrong name.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Nope, it is the William Tell Overture. Hall of the Mountain King's the do 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 do.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
William Tell Overture.
They're very close, right? You gotta give that to
I
me,
had
but
to.
Yes. No, I love
Yeah,
that they played that. I was like, this is awesome.
I was just chuckling.
Yeah.
So good, though. My significant other said it later, too, because we were just playing with the dog. He's like, man, Dandadan's so good. And that's when I even brought up to him, too. I'm like, man.
Oh, God, so bad.
We were just talking about how like natural it is. Like both Chainsaw Man's author and Dandadan's author don't sit there and explain everything. They just like, here's the cool shit you want to like see.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and exposit about it. Like he also brought up JJK as the other opposite, where it's like you sit there and just talk about the power system all day instead of giving me the character interaction or just being natural. He didn't mean it in a mean way. But that's when I transitioned to like, well, the real other end of the spectrum is Tower of God.
Mm. So before I forget, because it randomly just popped into my head, so I'm just going to take a quick
Okay.
way over here. I saw this on Facebook, a post about it. It was like a picture comparing 2 things and with dates on it. And I was like, there is no fucking way that happened. So I had to Google it. It took me some time to find it, actually. You'd think it would be easier. But did you know that in anime, the Goku and Frieza fight started in 1991?
Like in their universe, or like
No, in ours. That's
okay.
When I was like, I felt like it was more like late 90s. Like,
was that in Japan or America?
Japan, yeah. No,
Yeah, okay.
The dubs didn't
Still,
come
yeah, because that's like 2 years before I was born.
Yeah, it was the year I was born, and I'm like, there's no way I knew DBZ was old, but I thought like it was like mid to late 90s was like the Saiyan saga.
Yeah.
Not 91 was the Frieza saga.
Yeah, that's pretty nutty.
I was like, that's what then? Okay, no, it's just
Yeah, no, that's
random.
crazy.
Wild. Because I knew Dragon Ball was older because it started in like 87, 89 is when something started, the anime or whatever. I don't know when the manga started. But then I was like, wow, it's that old. But Akira Toriyama wasn't that old. When he passed, he was late 50s. So I was like, how young was he when he started publishing, just thoughts that I had. I didn't look any of this stuff up, but just, I don't know, it just randomly popped in my mind. I need to get that out there before.
So I said late 50s and my mortality started creeping in. So.
Right. But yeah, anyway. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That was a
Nuts.
culture shock to me. Again, if you had asked me that question, I would be like, oh, I don't know, 97? Maybe.
Right?
So I thought. Because like GT, I guess, on the original release was like 2003. I was like, I feel like I was watching GT in like 2007.
Also, I think I got Budokai 1 when I first moved to where I lived. So that would have been 2003 is when I got Budokai 1.
Right. Let's see if there's a date on this. Budokai 3 is 2004. And I got this the year it came out. I'm pretty sure. Jesus.
So yeah, damn.
So
I think it's more a shock to me how young I was watching DBZ then.
Right? Same. Well, not really, because I knew I was in elementary school when I was watching it. Which was late 90s, early 2000s stuff.
Yeah.
So I was in 4th grade in 2001.
Yeah, you know what? I must have been too, because I actually distinctly remember watching Yu Yu Hakusho before I moved. So yeah.
We're getting old.
Yeah. I feel it every time I get off a chair. Yeah, Dandadan episode slapped.
Oh, yeah, no. Yes, let's go back to that.
And speaking of the whole, is it always this unserious? People are about to have a rude awakening with the next arc. When they get their first Dandadan flashback.
True. And Ira and her bullying ways.
Yes. But people are going to be busting out them tears by the end of it.
Is Gigi there when the cow gets abducted in that panel? Or is that just at the end of...
I don't think he is, because I think it's Psycho, Okuran, Ira, and Momo. Well, Momo and Ira, since I was laying them out.
Because Gigi's in the opening,
In fact,
and I'm
I
like...
guarantee you he's not. Because, anime spoiler alert, it's going to be Ira, and then they all are there for the Loch Ness Monster thing. And by the end of the Loch Ness Monster thing is when they send the cow, because that's for the shrimp guy.
And then Gigi. And I'm like, they're already on episode 5?
Yeah.
Is tomorrow.
So I think they're already working on a second core, too.
Yeah, but... I don't know, because like you would think that if you're going to showcase Gigi in the opening, you would at least show him. But his arc is like the first... Longer one. Like, that's a multiple
Iris
episode.
will probably take like 2 or 3 episodes, and then the Loch Ness will probably just be like 2 or 3 episodes.
I think Loch Ness is probably going to be 1 episode, bro.
And the anatomical model will be in there somewhere, too.
Because I feel like Gigi is more of a 3 to 4 episodes, because there's a lot of different events that happen. But again, this is us basing on manga, and again...
Because they'll have to meet the anatomical model and do his little story before the end of Gigi's, because they seal the evil eye in the anatomical model.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to that really awesome panel when they open it up and it's still the evil eye in there.
I do remember that. Yes, but people are going to understand what the ending means tomorrow.
Yes, that too.
My wife hasn't asked.
Well, that's why I also mean with like the tear jerkers, because the intro has a little shot of the dancer in it too. Dancing on the water.
I didn't see it or watch it, but I saw a notification for it, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense now that I've seen the other video. That someone dubbed the Dandadan opening in English.
Yes.
And I'm like, how's that going to translate? Because the word's the same in
Well, some
Japanese.
of them, they just didn't even translate.
Yeah.
There's like a couple of the chants they just said straight.
Yeah, because those chants are just like...
But there's still a whole bunch of just rap lyrics in there, too.
Yeah, I'm sure. But like a lot of the chants and stuff are just like yokai names or
simple phrases.
Simple phrases in Japan that mean certain things that you say a word instead of 3 sentences.
Yeah. It was like half and half. Like some of them they just didn't even translate. They just said the chant. And the other ones they just kind of said like a...
So you listened to it? Was
yeah,
it good?
It was pretty good. Yeah.
I'll stick to the original.
I replayed it a couple times. Which is nice to have like the context of what they're saying, some of it too.
I just like the animations that are happening during the opening too.
It's fucking beautiful.
The dancing is so good.
The faces it opens up on are so good.
Yes. Dun 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 dun. No, it's beautiful. I'm so happy.
Same.
I'm so happy.
It's literally perfect.
The Bleach episode was pretty good too. The new fight that wasn't in the manga.
Nice.
Ichigo versus Uryu.
Yeah, I've seen some screenshots on the cesspit.
The twits.
Yeah.
I liked how they handled it because of what Ishita's doing in this arc. They had to have some kind of confrontation. But at the same time, Ichigo is just infinitely stronger than Uryu, so they can't just make it be a wash. But if you're watching the fight, you're like, oh, Ichigo is just not struggling at all here. And he's just tanking everything and just easily dodging. Or taking everything Uryu is throwing at him, even when he goes into his Volstein dish. But then he just uses his attack and intentionally misses him because he doesn't want to kill him.
Yeah.
But then Uryu shoots him in, like...
Yeah, I saw the
apple.
The screenshot.
People calling him an apple. The apple symbol.
Yeah, or it takes one like bite out of it.
Yeah, instead of a donut. And then he fell down. And I'm like, he's got to come back up eventually. Because he fights Yuha here. Then Yuha goes to Soul Society. And then Ichigo follows. There's a lot of shit in between that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what Ichigo does next. Because... like, all of the Vandenreg is still in the Royal Palace. And somehow they got to get back down to the Serite. And that's when they all have their next fights. All the fights them, really.
So they'll run the gauntlet.
No, each
they
one
have
of
their one-on-ones.
Yeah, well... I don't think any of them are one-on-ones. Well, Gerard Valkyrie, he runs the gauntlet. But, like... Mairyu and his Nemu, his lieutenant, fight one.
It's pretty much just him. Then that's
no. If
he created her,
yes.
So it's
true.
That's a weapon of his.
Yes. But there's still more to that I'm not going to spoil because it's very, very good stuff.
I've never been a Mayuri fan.
No, and then Kisuke fights one with Yodorichi, and Grimmjow's in it for like a second. Grimmjow's the one that actually delivers the killing blow. And then Kuhaku fights Lilibaro. And then just like everyone fights Gerard Valkyrie. It's Byakuya, Hitsugaya, Kenpachi, and a bunch of other people go after that guy.
Is it the most popular ones?
Yeah.
The star squad of the Serite.
I don't think we're gonna get to all of that though in this core. It's already maybe because it's like I'm sitting here and I'm like, I know there's another core. I'm pretty sure there's 4 cores. Because like I said, there's all those fights still to happen. And like each one of those could be its own episode.
Yeah.
With extended scenes and stuff like that. I know there's. See, I feel like there's a Yuha flashback, but we've already seen a bunch of stuff like here and there, like really fast. But again, that's probably half an episode. And then it's just, so it's like, is Core 2 just going to be all just new content? Or Core 4 is just going to be all new content? Because all that should be left is those fights that I mentioned against the Volstandish. And then Ichigo comes back, he fights Yuha with Odahime backing him up. And Uryu fights Hashival. And Bazby. Stuff happens. There's a mini flashback there. But then it's like, then all those fights I mentioned happen.
Yeah.
Yuha goes down, fights Aizen for like half a second, then Ichigo comes back in, they all fight him, and then Yuha's defeated. The ending happens like super fast.
They're definitely going to extend that final fight, though.
Oh, absolutely. They have to. And please show us Ichigo's Bankai this time. It's literally one singular panel in the manga.
Brutal.
He goes into it, you see the Horn of Salvation, and his sword is up here like this, and in the very panel, the same panel is showing you that he's in Bankai, his sword right here, and it's cut in half. It was broken the second he goes in, on the same panel.
Well, was it broken in the future?
Yes. Exactly. So I'm hoping that they either just, Ichigo just doesn't go Bankai in that fight or whatever, and somehow something else happens, or they just, I really don't like that, the breaking in the future thing.
I don't.
I really don't.
Him and Rocky button heads for stupidest time powers ever.
And then it's dumb too, because they bring back 2 characters from the previous arc, one of which is able to fix Ichigo's Bankai, but the other guy is there for a second to talk to him, and I'm like, how are you here? Because Bleach lore, man, of like how death works in the Bleach universe is just so confusing.
I always go right back to the same exact example every time, that there's a fucking slum in heaven.
Yep. But then I'm like, is Soul Society heaven, or is it just an intimate, like a purgatory type place? Because there is a hell, and it's not Hueco Mundo. But then you would think Hueco Mundo would be hell, because it's just a bunch of monsters, and those monsters can come and eat souls in the world of the living. And
are made of souls.
Yeah, and are made out of souls that weren't passed on fast enough by Soul Reapers. Who, if the chain, like that chain goes in, makes the hollow hole. So I'm like, okay. But then there's actual hell for Shinigami. But then I'm like, okay, what about the good Shinigami that die?
I just feel bad for poor people that die and go into the poor section of Soul Society.
Yeah, especially in Soul Society, because that's just where all of the mad scientists seem to operate.
Yeah.
It's like you're either going to be turned into something by Mairyu, you're going to be deformed and demented from Aizen and the Hoyoku and his fucking shit, and who God knows what's happening to your soul, because that's what he's fucking with.
Yeah.
And then you also got Kisuke, who's making all sorts of weird things, like the Gigai bodies and stuff like that, and, you know, it's just a bad time for a poor person. Or you have people like Zaraki that was just walking around just killing people there because of the fun of it. You know what I mean? It's just not a place to be. And you're like, there's no way the Serite is, or Soul Society in general, Serite
just the nice portions.
Yeah.
Those are heaven.
The Serite is like the elite class.
Yeah.
People. And it's just like, what the fuck's going on, man? Maybe we'll get more info on that if Kubo ever decides to continue with the Hell arc. I think he's waiting for the anime to be finished because he's heavily involved.
Ride the hype train too.
Yes. Because they only released that one shot like right before the anime came back.
Yeah.
The first core.
Kubo's very much sword for it. In touch with his fans, though, so he'll know when's the time.
He's never stopped doing Club Inside.
No.
He does it all the time. He still does it. And I'm like, that's awesome. So, like, he's constantly talking to his fans. And plus, because he's involved in Brave Souls, the mobile game. That's still good. Because anytime they have a new... Like, he does artwork for them. I mean, not always. Like, this... I mean, it's a mobile gacha game. So there's bikini... Like, beach and holiday-themed things. They don't need Kubo to draw that. They have the character and they fucking put him in a Santa hat or fucking swimsuit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, Kubo drew all of the something, I don't know, it's a Spanish word. All of the... So, there's Resurrection for Espadas, which is just a soul release or whatever. Yeah. Then there's the next one that only Ruvula has. But then he did another one where it's like one final one above that, and he did artwork for all of the Espada in it.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. A lot of them are pretty dope, but it's more of like a fanficky thing. It's not. I don't think it's considered canon at all, because like he's mentioned in a Club Inside that Grimjow alluded to he either might already have it or could get a second release like a Ruvula, because Grimjow's the strongest Hollow that's alive right now. I would say he's stronger than Nell and Haribel. I'd say he's stronger than them. So he got his wish to be king. That's all he ever wanted. And he's technically not wearing a crown, but he's the strongest Hollow. So maybe we'll get more of him, because he didn't actually fight.
And people would love that.
Yeah, because I love Grimjow. I would love it. I'd be in that camp. People are fucking all over that, though. Like, even, like, I haven't seen this week's releases of what got episode of the week or whatever, but, like, Bleach has gotten all of them so far, and some of them I'm like, but they just stood around talking, so I don't really think it defers it.
Some of the charts I saw was Dandadan. The first week it was Bleach, but everyone I've seen since was Dandadan.
I've seen Bleach at least twice, and I'm like, but nothing happened.
It's pretty much been
those
Bleach,
things
Dandadan, and ReZero in the top 3 every single time, though.
Yeah, I feel like there was a fucking curveball with one of them, like, overtaking one of those in the top 3. And I was like...
Maybe Blue Box?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was that, yeah. I've seen screenshots and stuff for it. I mean, it looks decent.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah. It's a sports romance, so...
Yes. Where one of them plays badminton and the other one plays basketball.
Yes. But there's so many of the, like...
Yeah, and Dragon Ball Daimo's out right now, too, yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't watched more. I've only watched the first episode of that.
I'm still waiting for the dub. The dub's not out till the first week of November. I saw them post about it.
Maybe I'll do that. Actually watch a dub of something, because of, if anything, Dragon Ball's the one that I would. You know what I mean? Oh, it's still so cool to me to listen to Turbo Granny talk and it'd be like, Luffy, what are you doing here?
I was trying to find one of those, but Googling it just gives me every single episode of the week chart ever, so.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I talked about it last week, but that fucking One Piece fan letter episode was so good.
You absolutely did. I remember because my timestamps were Centuria, a few minutes later, One Piece fan letter, then 8 minutes later, Centuria again.
Well, listen, it was a good fucking episode, alright? No, that's not what I heard. Yes. What was I gonna say? I don't know. It's good. The fucking... Let's see. This is the post. So, week 4, Dandadan, Bleach, Blue Box, ReZero for week 4.
Nice.
I'd have to scroll through the weeks to try and get last week's. Because they post like random screenshots of the episode, what happened in the weeks and stuff too.
I'm just gonna say it. Anime of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the memes for fucking Bluelock, dude.
Yeah, it's so rough. I actually reposted someone being like, remember when they actually animated this? And it was actually like a good soccer scene from season 1. Oh, good old days.
Yeah, but I mean, even season 1 had a bunch of slideshow type-esque stuff.
I feel like it went like 5 episodes worth of being funded, and then the rest of it just devolved. It's so sad though. Like, you had to have made so much fucking money to come back strong.
Rooster Fighter anime.
Yes.
Its main voice cast has been revealed. I see the manga on one of the sites every time, and I'm just like...
It's right there.
It's right there. Yeah, see, week 3, it was Bleach, Bluelock's ReZero for the top 3. Dandadan was in 4th. And it says 0, so it was in 4th of week 2 as well.
Big sad.
But it's okay. It's going to dominate the charts now.
This was a big moment. I can see why this one broke through again.
Well, it was really the first, like, hyper action scene, too. And, like,
the first climax of, like, an arc.
Yeah, and people really latch on to that kind of stuff, so.
So that whole running away scene was just so goddamn good.
Oh, yes.
Her using the telekinesis like goddamn Spider-Man webs. I'm so sad because my favorite panel in Bluelock is going to get shit on soon. It's a panel I showed you of Chihiro.
Chihiro.
I was going to say Chihiro. Chigiri getting pulled from the match, and his face just looks devastated. His ego telling him, like, ego benching him in person from the match. Because, like I spoiled to you, the next match they're going to be fighting, like, professional players. So ego is actually their, like, their coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there on the field, like.
Yeah. So week 2, Bleach was 1, ReZero, Blue Box, Dandadan. And Dandadan dropped down 2, so it was in
second.
So far, Bleach has 3 out of the 4 weeks.
The Bleach fans have been loud.
See, that's what I mean. And many of those episodes are like, not much happened in the episode, so I don't really think that it deserves the number 1 spot.
Well, in Dandadan, a lot of stuff's always happening.
Yeah. You know what I'm actually surprised about in all these? Because I thought it was just not in the voting section, but I've voted on some of those charts before. And One Piece is part of it. And I have never seen One Piece ever on the top 10.
Damn.
And I'm like, I could see why for most of One Piece. But there are certain episodes in recent year that should have been at least on, not number 1 or anything. I'm not saying that, but like,
yeah,
I would say the love the letter that should have been top 3. Based on the week that it happened to, there was nothing else that was.
Well, it's also a lot of popularity pull. True. So if there's already not a lot of One Piece fans on there, it's not like they're going to suddenly turn out for the good episode.
But you think One Piece being One Piece, that there would be at least a current...
You'd think there'd be some overlap, like it would go
up. Of people there that are at least voting on it every week, saying, "Oh, this was peak, this was peak, this was peak." I'm like, chill. There are certain episodes that I would say,
but you are still right half the time. But chill. No, I see Dandadan sweep from here on out.
Depends on what happens in Bleach.
I know, they're so loud. The Bleach fans are so loud.
Yeah, and there's also some really good stuff coming out, too.
Yeah.
Bankais that people have been dying forever to see.
Like you said, we might not hit Gigi this core. It is a truth. Or we might hit some of Gigi's story this core and not finish Gigi's story. Imagine if this season ends...
with the introduction of Gigi?
No, with the introduction of Evil Eye. Like, we go through enough of Gigi's story that the Evil Eye takes Gigi's body, and then the core ends.
That'd be when they go into the basement in his house.
Because already with the Mongolian sandworm, he already saves them from the worm for a little while, too.
Yeah, because then,
That's really towards the end of the arc, because it's not long... much longer later that the whole house collapses.
Evil Eye's so badass looking too.
That
Such a good
fight
design.
is so badass. With them in that small room and Evil Eye's kicking the ball around and beating Okurin's ass. And then traps him in like a spirit bubble so they're like chest to chest when they fight. Oh, it's so good. I saw someone animate it on Twitter.
I fucking saw... I didn't see, but this fucking chapter of Dandadan, since we've been talking about Dandadan so much.
Yes.
This manga chapter was... I'm liking the continued observations from the cast on Okurin's
being buff.
Physical abilities. And how he dodged those knives, the way he dodged them, and everyone was like super like.
I just took a screen cap of how like fucking dope he looked when he did it too. Because he just had a look on his face. But that's Samura, a different badass. But look, he looked into like elite mode with his eyes. Like he became Sakamoto, not from Sakamoto Days, like from the other Sakamoto show.
The dude that cleans with
the dude that's perfect always. The one who like they pull out the chair and he sits perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh. Don't mind me, I'm gonna find that Evil Eye animation if I can. But yeah, this chapter was dope as hell. I like how it ended with last time with like the surprise of she's gonna get burned and Okurin's immediately on it cutting that fucking hair. Like the very start of this chapter, he's like, "No, I got that."
And then fucking Momo at the end just throws an entire locker right in that bitch's face.
Yes.
I was like, "Damn."
It's like, nope, they won't throw it because you're behind us.
I mean, because Momo's powers still act as if she's normal size. She's just not.
Yeah, like her
so
telekinesis hands.
Well, as soon as she realized that she's still in the room, just telekinesis hands, you just wreck the room. You're only in a classroom.
You start grabbing around. I think the other big fear was that she could have been in any of the cabinetry, maybe. We could actually have to start opening doors and stuff to look for her.
No, because they're in that like spectral world or whatever. They're not in the real room.
There's still cabinets in there.
Yeah, but what I mean is I wouldn't be worried about
fucking
damage.
shit up, yeah.
I'll just start throwing everything everywhere. You know what I mean? Go fucking demolition mode.
Bookmarking that so I can show you when we take a little break. And once again, I do gotta say, what are they getting sewed to?
I know,
like you
right?
mentioned last time with the countertops, now they're being sewed to the floor by their flesh.
Crocheted specifically.
Crocheted on their flesh to the floor.
Gross.
Thank God she's dealt with. Maybe.
Well, I would assume so. Taking a locker to the face, she doesn't seem like the most tanky of people.
It's true, but I'm kind of holding in reserve that maybe these pygmies can all fuse.
Oh, most likely.
Right.
I don't think she's done and out completely, but I think that after this, they're going to disappear for a second, which will give Ira and Okurin a chance to become crocheted to the floor.
Also, does she have an invisibility cloak?
That's what I assume.
It took me like 5 freaking page turns back and forth. Because I was like, I kept flipping back to this page being like, there's no like window with like curtains or anything to hide behind. So is that just like a straight up cloak of invisibility?
Well, I don't see. They're trying to make it seem like it's not Saint Germain that gave her the power because whoever it was standing in a locker talking to her. But I'm like, dude, it's totally Saint Germain.
It absolutely is Saint Germain. She had the same little knife.
Yes.
Yep. That's all I need.
And the exact explanation of how to use it, too. So
Yes.
Maybe he's just a weirdo like that. Just hides in lockers.
Just being creepy and discreet.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. He's a weirdo.
He is a weirdo.
But then again, so is everyone in Dandadan. Which is why I love it.
So, Oh, so I was kind of emotional seeing the first dinner scene in the anime. It's the first of many dinner scenes around the table.
Yeah, with the fucking lobster or crab right after the crab yokai.
It's actually brings back to a video Super Eye Patch Wolf did about Dandadan, where he said to him the story of Dandadan is the story of that table getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
It really is, though.
It is. Like last time, they had like a whole fucking restaurant like rented for all the people they were celebrating with.
Yeah. You got Vamla, Kinta, fucking class president, Gigi, Momo, Okurun, fucking Ira, Psycho.
All of fucking...
Turbo Granny.
The gangs.
The gang members, fucking Zuma now, even though he hasn't been since his arc. Zuma's still part of it. The police officer is going to be there.
Yep.
Fucking the Sapporo, fucking...
It was fucking huge last time. She was like walking up like restaurant aisles.
Wild. Fucking defense force is growing huge.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it was so good. Or did you mean the defense force for Dandadan, like Earth?
Yes.
Well, I thought you meant the defense force against Kaiju.
Yeah, that too.
That's where my brain went when you said defense force. Because, yeah.
Ending off wherever it wanted, but before that, fucking Narumi is just popping off his ego, his inner ego. He went to Bluelock and came back.
I was like really feeling them too, but the fucking Aizen moment was so good.
No, when he caught
catching the swords. Catching both of Hoshina's and Narumi and still praying. Then we finally got another hint.
Yes, at the samurai. I see. Then come and see me.
Think they're an ancient order of using kaiju powers then?
I mean, they're fucking... Back in the old days when there were no guns and shit, they had to fight kaiju somehow.
Right?
Without...
How were they fighting this thing the way we saw it even back then?
Like, the way they talk about the kaiju weapons right now, some of the people alive today were alive when kaiju number 1 was killed. So I'm like, so if that's the case, how were they killing kaijus before kaiju number 1?
When they had fucking naginatas.
Yeah, and katanas, and knives, and shurikens, and, like, cannons. Like, what? Those guys were the
true heroes.
True fucking badasses or something. Maybe they were fucking eating.
Yeah,
pulling like
Genya.
Genya, yeah. That's exactly where I was going to it.
Because the way it said, like, form a stronger connection with us, I don't feel like it was just, like, ancestry alone. I feel like it's tied to the kaiju.
Well,
like,
actually, eaten because he ate a kaiju. That's how he got kaiju number 9, 8's powers.
Yeah. So it's going right where I want it to go.
Still need to explain, because maybe they'll explain both in one go. Because that kaiju was specifically looking for Kafka. He said, finally I found you, when in chapter 2 or 1 or whatever that chapter was.
Maybe it's also from the same era.
Maybe. Or it's a secret society of fucking...
Kaiju people?
Kaiju people that just kind of let the...
Nine do his thing. Like, maybe he left...
No, let the... What are they called? Defense force?
Yes.
Let the defense... Oh, they formed a defense force. Let these guys take the reins now, and we'll just...
live our lives.
Or whatever. Let them take the limelight, and we'll... hide in the
We're
background.
controversial now. They don't need half kaijus. They'll experiment on us.
You know, it always goes that way, though.
Oh, yeah.
It happened in Tokyo Ghoul, too.
Happened in Heroes. Way back in the day.
They're like, we're fighting these bad guys as normal people. But then somewhere in the middle of the series, like, we need more, so let's make hybrids and have the hybrids on our side. That's totally what happens in fucking Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
And then Bleach kind of does it with the visors, but...
I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho devolved into it.
I really hate Demon Yusuke.
Me too.
I
really hate the whole last arc.
Yeah, and how he was descendant from a demon. I was like, that destroys
they
the
go
whole
to the demon world, leave
him.
Kuhaku behind. They even end up...
Crowbar's the reason they got there, right? Was because his sword's what cuts it open, and you're gonna leave the dude behind.
And then you just for all of that, just for him to like give up on the ending, not even show like the rest of the tournament. Yusuke just gets knocked unconscious and wakes up after the tournament ends. Waste of my fucking time.
Yes.
But the rest of Yu Hakusho is perfect. Yeah, it's a trope.
They should redo Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing Rurouni Kenshin. I'd just be down for more
classic ones updated. Then again, sometimes I miss the old dingy styles too, though. I mean, I can always go back and watch them, but I don't know. I'm immediately proven wrong because they did such a good job at Trigun, and Trigun's one of the top ones that would have said, "Don't fucking touch it."
You know, I've been seeing it because Sparking Zero's out, so that's why I saw these screenshots of DBZ with timestamps on it. You know, DBZ used to do still shots so good, man.
Yeah.
The fighting, I mean, again, early 90s type shit, so it's bad. The people still, like I told you when we did our top 10 anime fights, you didn't believe me until I showed you. Fucking Majin Vegeta versus Super Saiyan 2 Goku still slaps to this day. That fight goes hard. But most of the time, it's just a blur of punches, standing around talking and then screaming. And
3 people on the ground looking around.
Yes.
Sometimes serious because they're actually following it.
Did I save that? I think I did because I saw something. I thought today. Let me see here. So then. Yeah, see? Look at this.
Yeah.
These stills. So, like, that fucking Trunks from 1993 with the sword on his back. Like, these
that's what I mean. I like all of these stills more than how Super looks.
Yes. Agreed.
And I would feel the same way about Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho's only sin is also being a little slow on that, like, I don't even want to call it pacing. It's almost like a frame rate issue where it's just like, it could look smoother. But I don't want you to update all of the drawings to get me that smoothness.
Yeah.
Instead of looking like, boom, like it'll be like
there's
a
got to be,
swoosh.
I mean, they should be able, like, you don't need that super bright, crisp filter that they put on everything these days. I like the old school filter where everything has that haze.
That dinge.
Like we talked about early Bleach, before, or even in Soul Society, but pre-Soul Society Bleach, when anytime he was in his Shinigami form, it was like he was in fog. The whole, like there was
or kind of very like a static.
A light fog or static on the screen that just made everything just so
like a blue filter.
Dreary.
Like
It was good. It was so good.
Everything before Soul Society, when suddenly it's like the fucking sun is right in front of me.
Well, especially in Soul Society because everything's fucking white.
Yeah.
But no,
I always
do that. Because the Rurouni Kenshin's not bad, but original Rurouni Kenshin has that same dinge and filter that would take that look. I need to watch more of that. I watched like 8 or 9 episodes of the first new edition of Rurouni Kenshin. It's coming back again, Court Season 2, Court 2, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So
I'm probably not going to watch it only because I'm not going to overload my partner with samurai stuff if I'm going to try to get him to watch Elusive Samurai with me.
And you guys just watched fucking Demon Slayer, which is katanas, and you fucking...
Which, granted, we have gotten a nice break from now with Dandadan and all of Season 1 of Space Battleship Yamato. Which we started Season 2.
Glorious.
Yes. Still not convinced to need a Season 2, but we'll most definitely finish it just off of how good Season 1 was. But it was a very self-contained story. I feel like it's just going to be adding to add.
Like Code Geass does.
Yeah, specifically like Code Geass does, but I'm here. Season 1 was really good.
Code Geass is a very unique case for me. Because it's like, will probably forever be top 5 for me. Like it maybe someday there's an anime that drops it from 2 spot or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll probably always be top 5 at least. But there's like other top fives of things that no matter what they put out, I'm going to consume. Anything Code Geass after R2 has just been wholly uninteresting to me.
Yeah, I literally don't care. It's the fully coolly for me. For this, it's a popular opinion for me, though. Because that's how I feel about a lot of stories. You don't need to keep making more. It's the Disney sequel. There's so few Disney sequels that needed to be made. And yet we have a Fox and the Hound 2. A Lilo and Stitch 2.
Well, Lilo and
a
Stitch,
Lady in the Tramp 2.
Yeah, that didn't happen. There's multiple Lilo and Stitches, and I say some of them are really good, though. So.
Yes, but Lilo and Stitch 2 is not one of them, nor is the series.
Hey, I like Experiments 6-2, all
it's
those
all
others.
just extra schlop.
It's just Pokemon and Lilo and Stitch.
Schlop, yeah, it's to make so they can make infinite toys to make infinite money.
Yes. There's a Frozen
like
1 and 2.
Fox and the Hound 2? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, which doesn't one of them die?
Yeah.
The fox?
I think the dog. It's been forever, though. That
Same.
used to be like my favorite. But my point is, most stories don't need more. Some stories do. Most don't. And anime is one of those times where I just want to like keep it sacred. I did not need 5 extra Fooly Coolies.
I needed a continuation of Fooly Cooly 1, which we never really got.
You know what? I didn't even want that anymore. Just it was lightning in a bottle. It was just.
I haven't seen anything past Fooly Cooly season 1. I've seen those 6 episodes and that's it. You
It's not
showed
worth
me
watching.
No, I know.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, and you gave me lowdowns on it.
Yeah, I showed you one of
screenshots
them.
and maybe like trailers, and I'm like, no, this is garbage. But if this was like 8 years ago when season 2 was announced, I was like hyped for season 2. We were both hyped. If it was Fooly Cooly season 1, but just more of it, because that story ends open ended.
The
She
first
just leaves him and
2
goes
extra seasons tried to be that, though, and I still didn't want that. Because it followed where she went after. But I still don't care. Like, it's 10 years, 20 years after the fact. It's different people making it, a whole different...
Yeah, see, that's the problem. So if it
owners.
was like a year or 2 after, then it would be different. If it's the same people.
The whole story was a bunch of creators that were working on Evangelion just venting and having fun instead. Like, you
know
can't
what
recreate
slaps, though?
that.
That happened years later. The continuation of Samurai Jack.
Yes.
And the last season of Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yes.
So
Though
those are
Star
two
Wars does have the benefit of having like a laid out timeline already.
And,
Like
well,
they were connecting
You know
to
what the
another
good thing
point.
about both of those, though, is the same people that came back to continue those things.
Yeah.
It was the same writers, and I don't know about animation team. It was
You know what's
looked
the
like
sad
the same
thing about
animation
that, though,
team,
is both of those are from the same studio that made more Fooly Cooly.
but gross.
Adult Swim.
Adult Swim.
Those were Adult Swim run projects, all of them.
Gross.
Big sad. They're also the people that made Uzumaki. That was an Adult Swim.
Hey, I've only seen episode
Project.
1. They did really good on
They did
episode
such a
1.
great job.
This is so good.
Yeah, just stop making more Kogia. Stop making more Fooly Cooly. Stop continuing finished stories.
Yeah, that's like them trying to come back with like Full Metal Alchemist season 2.
It's like trying to make more Attack on Titan right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, Full Metal Alchemist is another great example. There is no more story to tell in Full Metal Alchemist. That is one of the tightest written shonen stories I've seen in my life. And it's done. It is concluded.
I'm surprised they haven't.
I'm also surprised they haven't, because that never stops anyone from making more.
I
Well, they
don't-
technically did, because they made the movie. Sacred Star of Milos. Which was after Brotherhood. Sorry for all that noise. I wanted my cinnamon cold foam in my mouth. I didn't watch it yet. But it has chimeras in it, so I should.
When did it come out? When was that?
I don't know when it came out, but it's like... It's that kind of anime movie where it's so non-canon that you literally can't place it anywhere.
Oh, like all of the Dragon Ball Z movies.
Yes, and again, Fullmetal Alchemist is such a tightly written story. There's no time off that Ed could randomly do a side adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's part of why I haven't watched it. I own it, though, because I own all of Fullmetal Alchemist. everything.
You have the movie and you haven't seen it.
Yeah, and there's no qualifiers here. Can't say original movie, new series. No, I own all of Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, because you have the other one, the Shamala.
Yep, collector's edition. Yeah. And I own the complete original series, and I own all of Brotherhood.
Nice.
I hope I didn't sell them. I sold a lot of my DVDs.
It's a problem with DVDs and collections. If you don't have the space for them, they just sit in boxes, and then you're like, what am I doing with these fucking things?
Once you go to move, it's like, do I really want to move all this shit that I'm not using?
Well, I don't think... there'll always be a market for it because you can still buy... Because...
There's still enough ways to play DVDs.
Well, yeah, because right now, it's happening with VHS, where VHS has moved into the collector's
Oh, it's become
era.
like vinyls?
Yes. And certain VHSs, like, are worth a lot of money or whatever. And so people are still making VHS players. So you can still use it, right? So there's no... Like, right now, they're trying to phase out DVD disc drives.
Yeah.
For gaming, at least. Like, the PS4 Pro, PS5 Pro, it doesn't come with a disc drive. You have to get the digital one. I'm sure Xbox would do the same thing. If there's a PS5 6 or PS6...
Yeah, it'll be gone.
I don't think there'll be a disc drive. Which will be the day I stop buying consoles. Because I like having... There's games that are coming out now, single-player games that you buy on a disc that you need an internet connection to play it.
Yeah.
Which is just obscene. It's outrageous.
They want more and more control.
Yeah. Just you don't own anything in the digital space.
Yeah.
Because it's true. It's happened to me already. Google Music. Do you remember they had a Google Music?
No.
It was before they bought YouTube, I think. Or, well, they did buy YouTube.
I've been on that iTunes teat for too long.
Well, I had iTunes too, but I didn't have it because it's iTunes. I've never had Apple phones. I had Android, so you can't get iTunes on there. So this is going back years ago. I had to Google Music on my phone. This is before Spotify, Pandora cost money. I wasn't getting Pandora, and it was the same thing. I had to buy. I was like, and I bought a Slipknot album, the one with Devil and I.
Nice, yeah.
So I bought that album on that, and
they took it back?
That specific album was removed off the Google thing. So I had purchased it, and I was listening to it for years at times, but then that album got removed, and I could no longer listen to it on that app.
That sucks.
Now that app doesn't exist anymore because they have YouTube Music now, but...
Yeah.
Which is fine because I can just search any song I want on YouTube Music for free.
Yeah, that's literally the textbook situation that led to that recent gaming petition where the Crew got removed because it's online play only.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you see, like I've said it numerous times, there's 2 video games that I'm missing of all of my PS2 games that I've ever owned in my life. And I know both of them. The Hulk movie, the one with Edward Norton.
Yeah, I know that game.
Yeah, it's pretty good for what it was. Again, nostalgia brain probably is
it was good.
Severely impeding that.
There are worse movie games.
And another movie game, the Revenge of the Sith game.
God, I didn't play any of those movie ones. I didn't play any of the Star Wars movie games.
That was the only one. I played all of the Force Unleashed, which those games slap.
Because thank God we were so blessed as Star Wars fans to get a bunch of not movie games. Star Wars was one of those few franchises growing up that just got a shitload of video games.
Yes. Battlefront, Force Unleashed.
I played one on the 64 that wasn't specifically off of one of the movies. God, I can't remember what it's called, but it had one of the hardest fucking levels I've played in a video game. Or it's just a cart level that ends with having to fight Boba Fett. Oh, it's rough. And you're a blaster. It's a first-person shooter on the 64.
Oof.
Yeah.
64 too?
Yeah.
With that fucking third fucking handle in the middle?
The world's worst gaming controller.
On the world's best fucking system. I always...
Shadow of the Empire. Oh, maybe it was third person. Oh my God, my eyeballs.
Yeah, it's probably ass, isn't it?
Holy shit.
Oh my god. Look up this the Revenge of the Sith video game, dude. Look how bad that looked too.
Doom looks better than this.
Because I remember playing it when I was young, when it first came out. I'm like, this looks just like the movie. Now watch it. Look at it. It's fucking horrendous. Just polygons on polygons.
I'm a little shocked right now. Oh my god.
But no, I want to buy a Nintendo 64 to have it. But I know it's going to be expensive to try and buy. And then it's like, what games would I want to buy for it that are also going to be... Each one of those games is going to be like $100 a piece. And I'm like, for me to do what? Play them for 30 minutes?
There's few things I regret more than giving away my 64, to be honest. Look at that.
Yeah, actually, it's not as bad as
well, yeah,
I was
thankfully
expecting.
I led with the 64 game.
Yeah, true. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to look, but still pretty bad.
But yeah, I actually, one of the friends' houses I went to, there was a 64 set up there with Pokemon Stadium right next to it. I'm like, so jealous.
See, because I want to have that, like, a game room, and if the economy ever allows people to buy houses again.
Yes.
Have a game room where it's just on the, you see it, the TV's hanging up on the wall and there's all the shelves under it, and you just have all of your consoles set up there, and underneath are all...
And in this perfect universe, all the other walls will hold all your manga.
Yeah, exactly. Nice fucking reclining soft couch in the middle. Dimmable lights.
My fucking eyeballs. It's like, oh my god.
So old.
God, we were all playing this. The whole family was trying to beat this goddamn game. Oh, hey, here's the level. The farthest I got was this, like, minecart through a junkyard that I knew would end in Boba Fett, but I was never able to get to Boba Fett. Well, my parents were. That was their big wall, too. I don't think they beat that part.
Well, actually, I think I lied. Because it's not here. Maybe it's upstairs. Because there are PS2 games that are upstairs that I didn't bring down. I had Spider-Man 2.
Oh, so fucking good. The original Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, the one based off the Tobey Maguire movie. I beat that game without a memory card.
Nice.
My poor PS2, though. I left it on for like 3 days straight. And now I think back, I was like, wow. Because I remember it strictly being like 3, maybe 4 days. I was like, wow, that means that game's really fucking short, huh?
I think I did that to Spider-Man 1.
I played Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, where it was more of like a linear mission.
Yeah, and when you were on top of the buildings were out, but then you'd look down and it was just like empty
abyss,
clouds and shit.
Yeah. And you'd have some indoor missions too, so you could like crawl on the ceiling
and into the vents and shit.
Yep. So good.
Yeah. Have you played either of the 2 new Spider-Man games?
Yeah, I played Spider-Man 1 until I got to that Mary Jane Museum mission.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
I threw the controller down in disgust.
It's really good, though. I'm very impressed with Insomniac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're the ones doing the Wolverine game. Yeah.
But no, just... That was my big thing when Spider-Man 1 was coming out. I'm like, they have to nail web swinging.
And they did.
I don't give a fuck about anything else. Anyone can do a combat game. You're just punching and kicking people.
To be honest, I think the whole game holds up to the old Spider-Man 2 game. I feel like they took that because they knew a lot of people love it. Because even the combat feels kind of like the old Spider-Man games.
Obviously there's gadgets and stuff that weren't.
Yeah, there's way more complexity now. But like at the base of it, because you can string up dudes in the old Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, hanging them up from light streaks and stuff. Yeah,
it feels the same. The random encounters. Because I also remember the upgrade shots in the old Spider-Man 2 too, where just like a simple comic room you just walk into. It's one of the only like buildings you could walk into in the old ones.
The only thing that an Easter egg that I wish that they put in either of the 2 new Spider-Man games, which I don't think it's in the first one either. It was a story mission, but because you can like kind of like do a web to 2 things.
Yeah.
And I wish you could do that in front of a train and Tobey Maguire stop
Do
it.
the
Did Tobey Maguire stop? I wish you could not. It just hits you and you take damage and go flying.
brutal.
Just like cars can hit you. It's very rare because they'll actually stop.
Oh, that's Cyberpunk. That's what I was like. When have I been hit in a car? I was like, that was recent. Someone hit me with a car in a video game. It's like, yes, Cyberpunk.
See, because Spider-Man 2 is, I mean, I deleted it off my system because it's just such a large game file, which is just commonplace at this era of game. Pretty sure I downloaded it. I bought it, though. I didn't. That's a game I probably should have gotten physical, too, but whatever. That's a game you could play that. You could boot that up whenever and just spend 20, 30 minutes in it. Just flying around doing
Spider-Man 1, to be honest. I was doing so much side content in
just
Spider-Man 1.
doing the crime. Just swing around the city. Look how beautiful the city is. And like, oh, there's a crime. Let me fight some dudes.
Little objectives,
cool.
Little things to find. I played Spider-Man 2 is pretty high on my wish list, to be honest, even though I didn't beat 1. But I know I'm not going to go back to 1. Because I'm not going to play that Mary Jane mission ever again.
There is 2 of them in the new one, too.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that.
And there's stealth missions.
And to be clear, it's not because it's Mary Jane, everybody. It's because I tried to do it like 20 times and failed.
I thought it was because it's not Spider-Man.
No, it's well, tangentially, yes. Because I can't web my problems away. No, I run through the same scripted event 20 times wondering where the fuck I'm misstepping to get caught every time. I'm tired of this. I want to do Spider-Man things.
I'm actually pretty amped that there's a Wolverine game coming out.
Right?
Because it's like, we've been spoiled with Spider-Man, good Spider-Man and good Batman games. Yeah. But there's not many other superhero games, like true superhero. I'm not talking like Infamous, you could count as one, but not like Marvel or DC, you know what I mean?
I would love a return to like a Ultimate Alliance style game. Because there was an X-Men game that was also Ultimate Alliance. Something that you can get multiple heroes in.
I don't know how a Wolverine game's really going to play. I don't think it's going to be open world.
I think I would need a Wolverine game to be more Devil May Cry like.
Yeah. Set
piece to set piece, linear story.
Linear map type deal.
Yeah.
More, because it's more grounded. Spider-Man's got, if you're playing a Spider-Man game, it has to be an open world game.
Because you need the room to move.
Yeah. Like, but Wolverine doesn't need that much room to move around, and it's more close quarters, bloody combat. You know,
because I'll get really fucking bored if it's an open world and they have me biking around and shit.
Yeah,
that would make me unhappy.
Like, if you want to give me a mission where I'm on a motorcycle doing a mission, cool. Dope.
I love the snowboarding mission in Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I love the snowboard games they used to have.
I love SSX. Don't even get me started on SSX.
And the ATV one, too, the four-wheelers. Oh, those were good games, man. Yeah. See, PS2 era games were just fucking...
That's why I'd like a return to Ultimate Alliance and maybe instead make it like a multiplayer game. Like, give me X-Men Diablo. That's kind of what I'm asking for. An overhead, multiple character choices, which would... Why I say X-Men, because that gives you a huge roster to work with. Mm-hmm. Overhead ability cooldown late game. Because that's pretty much what Ultimate Alliance was, except you're controlling a party of 4 characters that you can switch between.
I know it would never work, because it's just, how do you balance it? But I would love a Superman game, like a good Superman game.
I know, it's never happening, though.
I know.
I don't think anyone's even going to try ever again because of how bad Superman 64 was.
Or how about just any Superman game is? Because it's like, how do you... deal with, like, picture a Spider-Man 2 or 1 game, but instead you're Superman. It's like, you just, what's the common fucking robbery in Metropolis?
Done.
Yeah,
saved.
You know what I mean? Swoosh. Oh, Lex Luthor's causing us problems, alright. Oh, Doomsday, you know.
Until you also can't ever make a Flash video game. You cannot translate being the Flash into a good video game.
No, because the problem with the Flash in every medium is that he's as fast as the writers need him to be, but you can't do that with the game.
It would have to be some sort of indie game where the challenge is to complete everything like a puzzle where if you go back to normal time, no innocents will die. So a lot of rearranging bullets, Quicksilver style.
You know, you could do actually with the Flash game is do it like the show of Flash. So when you start, he's not actually that fast. You know, so
You still
you're
need
not,
to be faster than every NPC.
yes. So like modern crime would be a throwaway. It would be so. I don't know.
See, it's a garbage game.
You could do it.
It's a garbage game.
But you're right. It shouldn't be done.
That's why I'm like, the only thing would be like a puzzle game of some kind or something like that. Something where you running 3-5 times faster than everyone else makes sense. And that's why I just think puzzles, like, it's a shootout and bullets are already going towards a bunch of civilians. You get this much time to move all the bullets.
So that's what makes me sad that the Square Enix Avengers game was bad. Because that game
It had so much promise.
So much potential.
Even like the setup of the way it is as a live service, I thought had a lot of promise. But it was just the execution was so bad.
I feel like it just came out at a bad time too, because Square Enix was working on so many other of their bangers that they're like, we guess we'll do this.
Yeah.
Because all their A-listers were, at that time, Final Fantasy Rebirth or Remake was being worked on. 14 has a huge thing, and they were working on 16. And they had fucking... what's that?
I did play the Avengers game. I didn't pay for it, but I played it.
I played the demo that it came out. I've seen a bunch of stuff for it. Like, online. Like,
yeah. It was actually not bad. Yeah.
But it's...
The core of it was really good. It was everything else where it shit the bed. Like, having a gear system. The map layouts were terrible. The enemy variety was terrible. But, like, the core of how it felt to play each of the characters was actually really good. Like, when you play Captain America, you felt like Captain America.
Yeah.
Something I would actually say about Marvel Overwatch, too. Marvel Overwatch is actually doing pretty good at, like, capturing each character. Like, Spider-Man in Marvel Overwatch feels like playing Spider-Man. You can just web swing around to their back line, shoot a guy with webs, zip to them, uppercut them away, and then web swing away. Like,
Of course.
Iron Man flies freely. So does Storm.
That would be a good game.
Iron Man, yeah.
Iron Man could work.
Yeah. But they fly freely
Because you could,
100% of the time.
You could add a mechanic of building your fucking Iron Man suit as an upgrade.
Oh, it's like Armored Core style.
Yeah. Build your own shit. And then that's how you'd get stronger in the game, too. And you know what I mean?
And let me tell you, it would feel really good because flying around as Iron Man in Marvel Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, that's what it's called, feels really good. You're just literally jet zooming through the air, shooting missiles off of your back. Like,
it would literally be Armored Core. I need to play Armored Core, but
it is really good, but it is very fucking hard.
yeah, I mean, it's Armored Core. So.
It is Armored Core. The control scheme doesn't suck anymore, so that alone means it's worth playing. But it is really good. I need to finish it. And then play the 2 New Game Pluses that have different equipment to unlock.
I'm just so overloaded on my back end of games that I could potentially buy that I'm just chilling right now.
Same.
But then that list ain't getting any smaller and new games are coming out.
Like Metaphor?
Metaphor's on that list.
Metaphor's on my list.
And that's it. I don't think there's any other games this year that are coming out.
Thank God. I mean, there's only 2 more fucking months after this next month.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, just in general, I don't think there's any other big title coming out this year at all.
Good.
So that's gonna be a good relief. My next big mainline game I plan to get is Monster Hunter in February.
Unless somehow, some fucking way, Silk Song stealth drops between now and then. But that's not happening, so...
Oh, there's other games coming in February, too, that I laughed. I was like, I'm not getting that anymore. I think the Dynasty Warriors game?
Yeah, yep, that's shuffled down the priority list. I would love to get that game on discount. After all of the money I've given Koei Tecmo and Omega Force, I would love where it lines up where my interest is when there's a sale.
I'm going to play it eventually. Just not immediately because World.
Yeah, because Dynasty Warriors.
I swear there was another one too around the same time. But, oh well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. But back to some manga.
Manga. All right, it's been forever since I read, but what chapters what did we read this week?
We read... What did I read today? I read Spy Family, Astro Baby, Wild Strawberry, Kagurabachi, 2 Centurias, and 5 Magis.
Okay.
Besides what we already talked about.
Yes. I do remember reading all of that.
Good. Spy Family was cute.
Fucking Lloyd having existential crises about meeting all of these people, but at the same time, like, so much good intel.
When they first started running the gag with all the words on there, I was like, oh man, I'm going to read that out super fast on the podcast. And then they did it like 6 more times back to back. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it was a lot of text.
It was a shitload of text. That's Takashi level text right there.
Yeah.
And I read all of it.
So did I, but I could not tell you what it said.
Yeah, I don't remember any of them.
I was like, all right, info on these people. Got it.
Cute moments of Damien. Lloyd realizing, hey, I should be a dad right now.
Yes. Fucking, Desmond's what? Miss Desmond? I forget her name. Melinda. Her poster even says right on it, all my fortunes never come to be true.
Sure didn't see that one coming.
Neither did I. But, cool. Like,
right?
Fucking Anya sitting there, be like, no! Plan C. Wait, yeah, Plan C. Hilarious.
Yes.
But no, it was a good chapter.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Should go down my continue reading list in order. Astro Baby was I'd call that a pretty wild chapter.
Yeah, I was not expecting this situation to be resolved so quickly.
Nor was I.
Because I kind of actually forgot that these people showed up at the end of the last chapter.
Yeah, I thought they were still just fucked. But I was like, oh yeah, no. Like, it's cool. That's not how I expected any of this to go. Except for him realizing that the baby's a Cooper. I definitely saw that would come in. But then Abby just...
Turned on baby mode.
Yep.
Then dude gets shot in the chest.
This is a text I definitely tapped out on. All of this man's crimes.
I read it. I was just like, wow, that's a very extensive list of crimes. So they're like a rogue unit of soldiers, yeah. Cooper hunters.
And now they got the baby and Billy.
Yes, they kidnapped them.
That was also just a nice wild page turn. A baby Cooper, huh? Now that's interesting.
Yeah, with
the dog mouth chick.
Mm-hmm. And then, do we know this person at the very end?
It's one of his little soldier friends, apparently.
Because it's like, I feel like that would be a face we've seen before, but...
I wouldn't remember a single one of the soldiers, including these girls that found him, mind you. If they didn't tell me they knew him from then, I wouldn't know. That was literally just like half of chapter 1, maybe less. Maybe like a third of chapter 1, where we saw his soldiers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, huh? It does show a little flashback right there.
Yeah, like right in the smack middle.
Yeah, see, I knew I recognized. Yeah, I remember the little dude. Okay. I missed that when I was reading that whole panel. I missed that little flashback panel. Right there in the middle of the page.
Thank God someone would help him out.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's going to go turbo mode right into Wild Strawberry. Which, not really much to say. Just fighting.
Yeah, just full release and punch the dude's face off.
Dude does the kind of a final boss move of making full power clones of himself.
Right.
Like, I only see that with, like, Cell, Madara. I am wondering why she's not helping, though.
Yeah.
That didn't really give me much insight on why she's standing there.
So here's the question. Do you want my clones to use full bloom or not?
The kind of plant rocket punch idea was cool, though. I like how he immediately was like, oh, cool, thanks for the tip.
Right? could use it like a fucking Andy does.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a little...
Little undead unlock fucking hand rocket. That'd be cool. But yeah, you'd think that she would be down there.
In the trenches, right?
She
doesn't look like she's despairing about it. Like, if she was, like, really sad about it being Makoto, I'd get it. But she looked, like, angry.
I feel like she has more reason. She's known Makoto longer, so she should be down there.
Yeah.
You know?
She was outraged.
How long has Kingu known Makoto? 3 days?
Yeah.
Give or take. Maybe there was, a month time skip. I'd say a month at most.
Yeah. And if it showed her again being, like, sad about it, I'd get it. But it's not the look on her face. And it showed her bleeding?
She's just chilling with that other dude, and he's like, didn't he even say you can help him?
Yeah. And she just stares out and shows it, like, dripping blood where she's standing.
Maybe she's trying to prepare something, like laying, like, a trap on the field. That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe, like, her thing's already, like, taking the blood, like, from her hands or something. She's just, like, in wait.
Mm-hmm.
Rip Makoto, though. Again.
Yeah.
Why'd you take the cool boy from me?
Now we just have the edgelord child leader.
Speaking of edgelords, next on the turbo round.
Turbo roundin'.
Kagurabachi.
Kagura.
With a lot more to sink my teeth into than the last two.
I was not expecting this child to be a grown man.
Me either. And his head looks so wonky in that picture. It looks like an edit.
And then I was not expecting him to eat said cigarette instead of smoke said cigarette.
Did you notice the little note? Yeah.
I just saw it now. Candy cigarettes. I did not see that the first time.
Twitter pointed it out to me before I even read the chapter, so. But that's also why I thought it was an edit. I thought someone was, like, slapping Samura's head over this guy's body.
These ninja forces dudes, though.
Super cool. Super cool idea that they're ninjas so that, like, Samura can't even sense them.
Yeah, so it doesn't... Yeah, but then it's like, if that's a skill they could learn, they could kill him so easily.
Right.
So...
Thank God they're on their side.
I guess so, yeah.
But I also like how he still notices them through the sudden absence of enemies. Like, he's just like, they're getting thinned out. Hey, you assholes.
He's like, bingo.
I was talking about the rule of cool today with my partner, and it's just such another good chapter to, like, exemplify rule of cool. Like, Uraha coming out and just being like, well, I know his sword fighting enough that I'll just dodge around him to solve the problem. And once again, he's like, Uraha, that's you?
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Potato.
My precious baby, please don't go out in the battlefield. Hawkery.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's doing something. His mask is there, cracked still. An instant nosebleed.
Yeah, literally going straight to the brain damage again that they were just talking about. Yeah, you're the only one that hasn't risked their life yet, Hawkery, because you're the most important person in this building right now. On this premises.
But I think it just kind of negates his ability that they're bringing the swords there anyway.
Well, two of them. And
assumedly some more
through paper moths that are controlled by the enemy.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If they bring him there, what's to stop Samura from just grabbing his own sword?
Distance, enemies control over it. Hawkery would still just go, and it would be there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, though, is...
What if they're bringing the swords to where Hirohiko is right now?
True. They could be bringing it somewhere else. I would think the worst idea would be to bring the swords anywhere in the vicinity of the original owner and risk him potentially getting it back.
Well, I think they're bringing it to the guy Chihiro's fighting, especially with the way they're talking about, like, he'll make a good wielder for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Yura himself said that, like, he'll be good with an enchanted blade.
He's got to get it.
But there is a difference between the enemies carrying it and outnumbering them to Hakurei literally just going like, oh, and they're both in his hands. They literally just go, here you go, Uraha. Here you go, Samura.
Which I think
but he's risking his ability to do that anyways. So, like, Hakurei, you don't get it. You're ruining the whole point of why everyone would risk their life right now.
Because I still find it less believable that the other two sword wielders that aren't here are going to be the ones killed off screen, and Samura and Urahara, they're going to be the ones to live. I think the author's going to make it a more impactful thing that he's going to kill Samura.
Yeah, especially since, like, I think it was twice this chapter they said they're focusing a lot of their forces on this temple now, so I think that's even hinting that we'll get to see the other two. I really think Samura's going down right now, and then Hirohiko will get whatever Samura's sword was.
Yeah, and I think Hakurei will only be able to succeed in getting one sword.
Yeah, because once they make a contract with one, he won't be able to get that sword back.
Which also means Chihiro ain't coming to this tower. He's going to be stuck fighting
that guy. Yeah, because there's no way he's bringing those on his own paper moths, and he's not, like, gonna do more.
I think he's just going to grab it and run, though. Probably.
That's what I would do. Because or bring them to wherever he is going to run.
Because Chihiro cut one of his arms off.
Both of his arms off.
Okay, yeah, so both his arms. So he ain't fighting with the sword. He just got it, so he's not going to know how to use it.
They're building this man up too much, though. He's definitely not done.
Well, we know that the arm removal thing is not a permanent thing. Chihiro got his arm removed, whereas his is a special case because he has that girl to heal her.
Yeah, but there'll be another special case.
I'm sure that the Hisaku has some way to heal.
Yeah.
You know?
Or give him tree arms.
Something.
Yeah. I'm still sus-eyeing the whole tree magic thing. Because remember, again, Yura made a wall of trees against his fight with Chihiro. And if every sorcerer gets one type of magic, I'd be willing to bet Yura didn't actually make that wall. That Top Hat guy did off-screen for him.
Mm-hmm. Most likely.
So we probably still don't even know what Yura can do.
Where the fuck is Shiba?
Where is Shiba? Everyone's wondering that.
He's gotta be somewhere. He's not stupid enough to just stay out of the mix. You know
to be fair, if they're splitting up their forces, maybe he's one of the people like going for a different temple.
Could be.
Yeah.
Because he's also like the ultimate defense, though.
I feel like you could just shoot him a text real quick and he'll be there to help. Like,
we don't know the conditions of where he can teleport, but we know he can go very far.
Without no mandala.
He went from the auction house to wherever the fuck those people were when Hakurei got jumped. And back. So why couldn't they just be like, all right, well, let's just try and have Shiba teleport around and bring all the swordsmen to fucking Kabunabe HQ?
If there is a distance, like, handicap of some kind, there's not a spamming it handicap, because he teleported there, teleported him into the air, and still made it back to the auction house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With him.
Yeah, so...
He didn't even let him fall. He brought him back.
So you clearly can spam it at least. So could you spam it for distance?
Right? Just teleport a couple of blocks at a time or whatever.
We've never seen the man fatigued. And clearly, apparently he's a pinnacle of sorcery.
I mean, teleporter. Come on.
Yeah. Irreplaceable.
Chihiro's little fucking crew is just so broken. You got a fucking teleporter, a dude that can store anything in a space and then grab anything from anywhere.
Literally Gilgamesh.
Yeah. And Orohime, basically, with the fucking child healer.
Yeah.
And then himself with the fucking... had 2 enchanted blades at one point, but forced a last bit of Cloud Gadger out, which needed to happen. He couldn't.
Which so reminds you that a lot of people's favorite page of him telling Cloud Gouger to hold it together.
So cool.
So good. Well, we still have Samura for now. Speaking of still having people that I expect to die, let's move to Centuria. Angval is still alive.
She is.
I genuinely didn't think that would happen.
for now.
Well, I even backed up a little bit. I don't like doing it, so I didn't do it much. But I scrolled down like 3 pictures and still saw Ongval, so there's a little warmth in my heart and happiness.
Because they met what was probably, at that last moment, the tree spirit. That's probably the Ocean King spirit thing for the trees.
Well, I think the one they just killed would be the tree spirit. I think that one's mushrooms. You notice it has like mushroomy features. And mushrooms are like one organism that can spread out really far through like rooting and stuff. So I think that's what it was.
But wouldn't it be forest?
And mushrooms in a forest.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, an octopus is in the ocean.
Yeah.
So you don't have you had one sea. Not this is going to be a whole land one, but maybe a forest one, a mountain one.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But clearly,
it could be forest, but this guy seems to be trees, and trees pretty much are the forest.
Yeah. So, well, either way.
I also say mushrooms are good for hallucinogens, though, too, which would explain the illusions.
Yes.
Which was fucking crazy.
I just think that whatever was keeping these things in the forest and away from the humans was just a whim, and I don't think that's going to be happening anymore now that they know... I don't
think it's a hard rule.
Yeah, now that they know the sea-blessed child that is Jillian and the baby are in that village, they're going to attack it.
And also, clearly, whatever that thing was can reach outside the forest. Imagine if it starts using those kind of, illusions and hallucinogens on anyone in the surrounding area.
We still haven't seen the deer thing again, either.
No, we haven't, which was very spooky.
Yes, so...
I love that whole vibe, though, of it being, the creature's domains. The sea-blooded one. It's just that's a vibe.
I wish there was an easier way to track if Jillian had lost a life or not. Because I don't think he did in that fight. Because he never, did a blackout and then came back like we did against the fish. But at the same time, he took a lot of things to the chest.
I feel like he definitely had to have lost, an equivalency there in that brawl after the tree guy died. When all of those monsters were coming at him and, bashing him back against Angval.
I thought he was going to die, but it was just his imagination when he got cut into, 12 different pieces.
Yeah, that illusion thing, that was freaky.
I was like, oh, there goes life, but how would that work? Would he just, Bakano himself back together?
That's what I would guess. Or maybe the smoke would do it. The smoke connects it first, and they would just cloud it, and he's there.
Because in all the other ones, he hasn't had his, head cut off or anything. He just drowned a few times.
Got stabbed up a bunch by, the tentacles.
But we haven't seen him dismembered.
No.
But we know certain things, because, his... Did his eye change after fighting the things in the water, or did it happen after he got the Blessed Child stuff?
I actually don't even know. Huh. It's interesting, because when he gets bandaged up, they bandaged that eye.
So maybe...
Maybe it was the damage? Right. That's also not the eye that starts cracking when his powers happen. It's the eye that has a pupil.
Yeah. I don't know. Food for thought, I guess.
Very good couple chapters. Very happy Ongval's alive.
Everyone made it out alive. I thought at least maybe the dad was, the older dude was going to die or something. And Ongval, I didn't expect literally everyone to live through that.
Me either.
Not a bad thing, but...
And led to that really nice moment of Julian even being like, it's all my fault, but Ongval still being like, nah, we're family, fam. Let me get up with my shattered ribs and organs to tell you that.
And her face is less damaged than I thought it would be
right.
after that.
It was just must have been anime blood vomiting.
Yeah.
I was souped when you told me you read 2 Centuria. I'm like, yes. Yes. Okay, I can't look at these thumbnails. I keep only going as far as I looked and stopping. I'm like, no.
Don't want them spoilers.
Nope. And that only leaves one more. Magi.
Which all of the chapters is literally...
Judar fight.
Yeah, fight. I see, because I don't...
I remember they fought, and I didn't remember anything else about it at all.
See, because I know there's more shit that happens with Kasim. Because, spoilers, I know Kasim dies.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
but I don't remember how, and I don't remember what's gonna happen. Like,
Well, the government still hasn't responded to them really.
no.
The actual leaders are still free to do actions right now. Like it's Judar they're fighting, which is a complete side fight.
Yeah, because the Ko Empire showed up towards the end, and they took Judar and left.
It was
Now
right when Sinbad was going to try to like really fuck shit up
and do something for once instead of just standing there. I
Well,
get it. He doesn't have his metal vessels, but he's still strong without them.
Well, before this, they did just go to the negotiation, and Judar was kind of there to like even like taint the field and be an asshole.
As he usually does.
When we came back, Sinbad was like, "No, we're gonna do the resistance fighting thing then," and that's the perfect timing for Judar to show up. Bro, if you waited 5 more minutes, you would have gotten all the war stuff you like. Could you have just waited?
I know, right? Now you're gonna get pulled away. Good thing Sinbad was able to rizz up that princess, though, because they were so fucked.
They were super fucked. She literally did the Sundari thing, too.
Yeah, because she's just like that for the rest of the series.
I'm not leaving because you told me Baka and was already on her carpet. Like,
because she's in the next arc. She goes to Sindario. Because that's next.
Shit.
Yeah, she's there, and she actually has like a mock fight with Sinbad.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And again, I remember nothing.
That's the only thing I remember from that arc, to be honest with you. I know it's a shorter arc, too. And then they all split up, and Aladdin goes to the magic school.
Somewhere before that is Hakuryu stuff, too. Is that Sindaria?
Right.
It must be Sindaria. It must be tied into some of that.
Something. Maybe they go on like a mini quest and come back.
Or maybe he's like an emissary from like the Ko to like learn from them. I think that's what it was.
Maybe he comes with the Ko Empire people to Sindaria. Maybe that's where it is. Yeah. So somehow with the Hakuryu stuff, Hakuryu.
Yeah, I know it's a tough one.
Is in there somewhere, because then I know Aladdin goes to the school. Alibaba goes to.
It's L.
Something. Yeah, some other country.
Loam?
Yeah, something like that. And then Moria Gianna goes to try and go to the Dark Continent or whatever.
Ends up traveling with the Green Magi.
Yes, or meeting him or whatever. And then they all meet back up again.
At the big war.
At the big war between
Magic Land.
Place.
Between Hogwarts and
Sparta.
Yes, thank you. I was gonna try to get something. I was gonna go Troy.
Yeah. Rome, Troy, Greece.
All
of them together.
El Coliseum.
El Coliseum. Yeah, no, it's good shit. So, and then after all that, we will be caught up to everything and anything I've actually seen. Because I feel like whatever the Sinbad anime is from a side story manga. I don't think that's...
It is. It's a prequel side thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the mainline Magi chapters. Which is good stuff. I would still recommend. I mean, it's 12 episodes on Netflix.
Yeah.
At least that's where I watch it. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but it was.
The journey of a man succeeding his way through life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So glad to be reading Magi.
Same. Big sad for Ugo. Pour one out for Ugo.
Yes.
We needed to lose Ugo, though. He's overpowered.
Fucked Judar up, dude.
He did.
All that man could do is try and hold that magic bubble up to protect himself, and he was still getting railed.
Literally clapped. He did the fucking...
Because I don't really know the details either. I know Ugo's a special case thing. He's not just a djinn, I think. I think he's got more to him.
Actually, I'm really glad that came up then, because I'm bouncing off my old theory that Aladdin's the reincarnation of Solomon. So I'm
pretty sure he is.
Ugo got offended by how Judar turned out as a Magi. Because they're Solomon's children. They're supposed to be, like, exemplify or at least, like, try to look for the best qualities in a king. So for this guy to be, like, violence-obsessed warmonger.
And at the same time trying to hurt Aladdin.
Yeah, I think Ugo got, like, real personally
invested in that battle. Yeah, because he wasn't listening to Aladdin. He was just doing his own thing. He just kept attacking.
Just being an asshole.
Yeah, was trying to kill him too.
Yeah, for literally no reason. I love that part in the middle where Judar's just like, why am I fighting? I don't remember.
Dude got amnesia from the Ugo punches.
And the Co-Empire people came to bail them out. These are all monster people, right? Like Chimera hybrids. That was like an elephant man that was fighting Musmer. Or Mercer.
Well,
Mercer.
It could also be a household vessel type thing. Because there's a dragon dude in Centuria who's just a dragon dude all the time. But when you meet him in the Sinbad thing, he's just a dude. Huh. So I don't know what happened to make him now a dragon dude.
Because those all had extra limbs, like...
Yeah, I think it's household vessel stuff.
Nice.
But, I mean, it could also be... I mean, it's the Co-Empire.
It is the Co-Empire. I do remember something about them, like, engineering monsters of some kind. But there's so many animes I could be mixing in.
We saw... It wasn't a full Jin equipped, but it was... I think it was like a half Jin that she did, and I think it's the first one we see in the series so far.
Which was right on time, too, because they're also introducing magic to Aladdin. So it was, like, the perfect time to drop concepts on them.
Yes, because next time we'll see Sinbad use a full Jin equipped against that same girl when they just do that little spar match. Multiples, you'll see at least 3.
I'm assuming one of them is to teach Alibaba what it is.
No, I think he learns all of that stuff in Lem.
Really? Damn.
I think so. I mean, at least he sees it and is aware of it. Oh yeah, no, because they teach him. Yeah, I think.
I feel like they have to because he already knows he has
the half because he gets that gauntlet thing.
Yeah.
But then when we see him in the war at the school, he's able to do the full Jin equipped. So I think he learns full Jin equipped in Lim.
Yeah, I'm so excited to read more. We're at 51 out of 369. We're 1/6 of the way there.
I wonder how far in season 2 goes up to. Google, give us the answers. Oh, mighty search engine, bestow upon me the answers that I seek.
Reddit.
Oh, Reddit threads.
Don't let it send me notifications. 199. Anime ends at 198.
Jesus. Then there's got to be a lot of skips content. That's 200 fucking chapters in 2 seasons. Well, each season's 25 episodes, I believe. So 50 episodes.
And these chapters do go by really fast. Have you noticed that these chapters end like dog shit, though?
They just end.
They just end, like, in the middle of, like, a scene. It feels like...
It's very jarring.
Every single time, like, what? I went to check the next chapter. I'm not even going to lie. Because you know how this one ends with Aladdin trying to, like, pour his energy into the flute, and it just, like, ends right there? So I was just like, well, does it work? So I just went to the next chapter. I scrolled. It doesn't even show Aladdin again until, like, the end of the chapter. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just fucking... when I go to read it next. It does say that the last few episodes of season 1 were different in the manga. But it's also Reddit. It could just be, like, literally, like, one scene different.
Oh, maybe the giant monster that they fight isn't in it then. And maybe Sinbad doesn't show up to the war to stop it. I don't know.
Well, no, it says end of season 1.
Oh, season 1 was...
Season 1.
Then maybe Kasim doesn't die. I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, that's going to end with Centuria, too, so it might be something different with Hakuryu then. We'll find out.
I do really want to get to the Hakuryu parts, because from him going from timid little boy to evil psychopath.
Yeah.
Is a character arc that I really want to see happen in manga form.
It's interesting. We'll only have like 170 chapters more of content beyond what the anime covered.
Still a lot.
Yeah.
But
almost 2 seasons worth, according to the anime.
I was hoping it would be more than that.
Me too, but I guess double the story is a good way to look at it.
I'll take it.
About the length of Black Clover when I first caught up to it.
Have they still not put out another chapter?
Oh, they have. I haven't read I haven't read since he took the break switching magazines. Nope, that's a lie. I read 1 chapter since then. But I have like a...
Didn't they say there was only going to be like 4 more chapters at one point or whatever?
Yeah.
But they were going to a tri-monthly or some outrageous release schedule.
Like, I think it's quarterly.
Oh.
Isn't that...
Quad monthly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have 4 chapters built up. Because they drop 2 at a time instead of 1 big one, like it should be.
It should be, yeah.
But whatever, as long as it's more content than it was when it was weekly. Just have that lane build up. They're literally in like the climax of the whole series. I'd rather just like read it through.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Speaking of coming back, Hunter x Hunter's back.
I heard.
Yeah, they've put out 2 more chapters than I thought. They've put out 4 chapters beyond the one that I refused to read.
Because the first page.
Yeah, it's just so much words, man. Look at all these fucking words, dude.
That's a lot. That's a zoom in to be able to read that words.
It's like every fucking page, too.
Holy,
it hasn't
oh my
let
god.
Up.
Oh, I couldn't.
I don't know who that is.
I'm sure the first 4 pages of dialogue would tell you.
Oh, here's the first time we can breathe. 12 pages in. Oh my god.
Just scroll through the next chapter real quick. See if it's the same. Don't lose your place, though. Don't mark that as red. As you mark it as red.
As I mark it as red. Well, a little better.
Yeah, not bad. Normal amounts of dialogue.
I know stuff's going down because people on Twitter were talking about 2 of the... I don't even know what to call them. Like the family leaders. Like 2 of the people that are in this killing game.
Mm-hmm.
2 of the big shots. Saradnik level people.
But not Stradnik.
But that just means at least we're getting to the shit that I care about. Instead of all the shit we went through last, like, mega drop.
I'm just hoping for Hunter x Hunter fans that you guys get off this fucking boat soon.
Again, I like what's going on the top half of the boat. I feel like I don't even care about getting to the Dark Continent. That's the way I feel. I feel like Togashi highly overestimates how much time he has to tell a story about a brand new continent with new wonders and species and dangers. I don't think he has another Chimera Ant arc length in him. And he's trying to take on another Chimera Ant arc level, like, arc.
Yeah, the fucking boat is that, first off.
Yeah.
The boat, they've been on it since 2010.
And what do we even have to really like care about the Dark Continent? Everything we have to care about is on the boat. The end of Kurapika's story is on the boat.
Unless you care about, technically the spiders could be too. But,
Yeah. Yeah, the whole spider story has been forced onto this boat.
Yeah.
The only thing that would really... The only person that really even cares about the Dark Continent is Beyond Netero.
True.
He's like the whole linchpin for like the Dark Continent side of the arc
Is
when they
he
get
on
there.
the boat as well?
Yes, but he's in like confinement. They're very suspicious of him, and he doesn't even care because he's like, I don't give a fuck about the boat. I care about the Dark Continent. Let's get to the Dark Continent.
So he's just probably chilling, meditating,
Literally just sitting somewhere,
focusing on and strengthening his nen or something.
Yes, and the Zodiacs want to make a stop at like an island. They're gonna say is we landed at the Dark Continent and let the civilians off there. They're gonna try to dump Beyond Netero off there too, which I'm sure won't work.
I was gonna say that's 100% not gonna work.
I'm hoping the arc just ends there, like at that island. I'm hoping whatever climax Togashi has in mind can just end there instead of going to the Dark Continent.
Well, because it's like, how are you going to get him off the boat onto an island that he's going to realize immediately isn't the Dark
Yeah,
Continent?
because he's been to the Dark Continent.
And then you're going to try and sail off with him, and he's just going to let you do that?
He's like, wait, that's not the direction we came from.
Which I'm pretty confident, without even reading this, to say that he's the strongest dude on that boat.
Yeah, he might be the strongest hunter right now besides Jing. Just off of speculation, though.
Which is hilarious, dude. Jin gets so much gas, and he's literally done nothing other than get punched in the face by Leorio.
Hey, he
Copied it,
as a big-brained manga reader, he also copied it.
From seeing it once, which is impressive.
And suggested that he did that move specifically because Pariston already would have seen that like happen. Like he didn't whip out an ability Pariston wouldn't have known of. Like, he copied it as like a flex at him.
It's like, bitch, look what I can do.
Yep. And you don't even know what's in my bag. I pulled out some loser's attack that hit me at a conference once.
Yeah, because what's her name? The young girl who's actually a really tall, buff lady.
Oh, Bisky.
Yeah, because she gasses him up in the Greed Island arc, saying that, like, he's one of the strongest people she's ever met, or whatever.
Oh, Greed Island itself gasses Jing up. It's a whole real-life island that he...
Well, I feel like he's the brains behind it. But that lady, that girl, the receptionist, is the one that holds it all together. It's her nen ability.
There's no way Jing had the fucking focus to actually make all of it.
And then keep it going as a live service game that nobody participates in. Because people aren't playing the games very much, and now they're in obscurity and being sold at black market auctions for an obscene amount of money. Just
my big point with Hunter x Hunter is I don't think the story has much to gain from getting to the Dark Continent.
Other than ending.
Yes, but I feel like it should end before then. Because again, it's... Well, everything there kills everybody. It would be the same ending. Because no one has anything there to care about. Kurapika doesn't have anything at the continent to care about. Leorio doesn't.
All of the people that matter to the series are on the boat, right?
Yeah, the only person that at all that cares about the Dark Continent is Beyond Netero. And maybe Jing.
I was going to say Jing's adventurous mind.
Yeah.
Probably wants everything to do with it, but...
The only thing I could see they possibly, like, trying to tie it up with is maybe Pariston becomes, like, an ultimate evil and they take Pariston down.
I could see that, and it's written all over the dude's face
Yeah.
that he's the absolute most sus of the sus.
That's what I could be a little happy with that too, but just, like, to have something, like, infinitely bigger than the continent we have been exploring, with infinitely stronger beings that are world ending, it's just like, we don't need this.
Yeah. For real.
I almost wish the whole arc setup was different. And still have, like, the death game with Kurapika so we can finish Kurapika's story still. Because that was a good plan. I like where the heart was going.
I would be happy if Kurapika just dies.
I know you would, but I'd like to see the end of it.
But it's not going to happen. The troop is going to be the one that dies.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's going to take them all out.
Yep. Well, Kurapika will take Saradnik out for those last eyes for sure. Or die trying.
Saradnik has the last eyes?
Yep. The very last pair of eyes that Kurapika's looking for, Saradnik has. Because he's not only a mass murderer, but a body parts collector. So he'd be
Why does that not surprise me in the slightest?
So he'd be one of the people the troops sold the eyes to.
So she's just going to have to go steal it.
Yep. That's the whole point of her being there. She's got herself into her position as a bodyguard of one of these people specifically to try to get to Saradnik.
Isn't it he?
I do that all the time. Yes, he has put himself in that position. And his allies. Because he did get together a little group of allies, and they're all bodyguards to different princes, too.
Just
That's
to
what they're
gather
called.
info.
Princes. That's what they're fucking called. Yeah, just to gather info and keep tabs on them and try to get closer to Saradnik. So it's also like a little bit of
Does
almost
Kuhaku
like-
know that Saradnik has the last pair?
yes. But that's about all he knows about Saradnik. He doesn't have a bodyguard planted with him. They all have like Hunters Association's bodyguards, but Kurapika only has like 6 plants like among them.
Why wouldn't you just go in his office and take like his key to his vault that has the eyes in it and just grab it?
You could try, but I mean,
Also, why would he take him with him onto a boat to the New World? Or New
because he's
Continent?
a fetishist.
True. Most likely.
Most definitely. Murders his art.
Again.
Murdering
First
whores.
time I saw it, I met the dude, and then you saw the true him when he smiled, when only the audience saw him smile. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, that guy's a bad guy. Good guys don't smile like that unless your name is Shinra. And last I checked, you ain't Shinra.
You ain't Shinra. Well, there's also like kind of like Lloyd gaining his humanity this chapter back a little bit through all his fighting. Kurapika almost has an arc like that because the prince he's protecting has a child. So it's almost like Kurapika being like, shit, maybe my wants aren't like the number one priority. Maybe I should actually like take care of these people. Maybe I should do my job instead of my want. So I
True.
a lot of what I like about Kurapika has come from this arc because I wasn't a huge Kurapika fan before either.
I still think it's bullshit that he beat Uvakin.
I don't.
I do. Dude learned Nen a month ago. I hate that in any anime ever. I hate that trope that's like the main characters learn the magic system or whatever, they train for a month and they beat people that have been using it for years. So just, I hate that.
I still
trope.
stand by it, that Kurapika is the most justified of it happening, though.
I guess, because he's got that nail in the heart thing to be like...
He
it
still
amps
doesn't
everything.
have a useful Nen power. Like, he does have, like, a new one, but it's literally like a dowsing pendulum for, like, telling if people are lying. Like, he hasn't gotten...
Which works in the sense for him to want to find out where all the eyes are. So
Yeah.
that's what all the power is in the end of the day, is anything he can use to get the eyes. He doesn't need... Unless now, if he has to fight Pariston, which is a Zodiac, so he's got to be
Or
strong.
Saradnik, because Saradnik's not a spider either. So he's kind of... I feel like Kurapika's actually, like...
I feel
really
like
on the
even
back
with
foot.
the chains, fighting Saradnik is going to be a fucking serious
Even
problem.
if he was a spider, like... It's not Uvogin. This person is, like, a meticulous...
How would that work, actually? Because Saradnik isn't really a fighter from what I've described.
No, in fact, he's only just learned Nen on the boat.
So, if chains are being thrown at you, you're not going to think they're going to go inside of you and in your heart and stop your Nen ability. So what would happen if that happened?
Yeah, what comes
And then
first, the time erasure or the Nen turn off? But that's just even speculating if he was a spider. I don't think Kurapika can even use that on him.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 giant Nen beasts and is learning Nen himself. God, that was such a good string of chapters. I'm so sad that Togashi fell off the wagon after that string of chapters. It was so fucking good.
The Saradnik stuff?
Yeah, because it was the Hunters Association bodyguard was trying to like temper how fast he learned Nen, being like, this man's a monster if he learns what this Nen is. Because Kurapika's the one that leaked that Nen exists to the whole boat over a phone call. Just to like spread chaos a little bit and distrust. But Sarangni was just like, oh, that sounds cool. I want to learn that. You work for the Hunters Association. Teach me whatever the fuck they were talking about this bullshit.
The fact that Nen is not known to the general public is bullshit.
It's
in the
so
first place.
bullshit, yeah. Then as he's learning really, really fast, she's like, shit. Fuck. What am I going to do?
Still the biggest plot hole in the story for me. Bullshit. Is that Kahlua didn't know what Nen was.
Kahlua specifically is a giant
Specifically.
hole. And I'll absolutely give you that. Because why wouldn't the family just teach him it?
He's an assassin. You train Your children assassins to... I mean, the only way you could do it is they wanted to train his physical properties first before they trained his... But no, you should have him be training his nen in the background and prohibit him from using it to get better at the killing part.
Also,
first.
if that was the excuse, his physical properties are already pretty fucking good now. Like, did he not already reach that point?
Right.
Like, he was mogging the hunter's exam. Like, it took Illumi's, like, traumaing him to stop Kahlua from passing the first time.
Which is actually... Do we see bungee gum when Hisoka takes part in the hunter's exam?
No.
So that means the first nen ability we use is Illumi's, because he was using his...
the needle thing on Kahlua.
Well, not even just Kahlua,
Oh,
on himself.
Yeah.
To change his disguise.
You right.
Not that at that time it was a nen ability, it was just a
Because Hisoka was
disguise
doing
technique.
vague, like, magician trick stuff, but he wasn't doing anything bungee gum related.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really need anything else. All of those dudes, none of those dudes knew nen except for Illumi and fucking Hisoka.
I do think the hunter's exam arc is, like, the glaring... is where it's a glaring spotlight that, hey, I didn't think of nen yet. It's really true. Because Hisoka's moveset's completely different.
The ninja, the monk dude that broke Gon's arm. Right?
Yeah, the ninja.
He
using his ninja arts.
Yeah, he should have known what nen was if he's in some kind of secret ninja monk thing.
It was definitely meant to be more of like a normal martial arts thing, and then Togashi's like, fuck, I'll just make it more Dragon Ball Z, but in my own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to cut it off.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
84.
Yes. Dukes of Weepdom.
Dukes of Weepdom.
Episode 84. See you next week.
Peace.
With more glorious anime manga.